Dollar with NetRadioDogs.com, and we are live on location at Holston River Brewing in Bristol, Tennessee, just right around the street from Bristol Motor Speedway. And I'm not really sure who this guy is, but he was standing on the parkway and he was getting some tips in a jar for something, and I don't know what exactly.
It was a nice jar. It was an awesome jar.
It was a huge jar.
It was a great jar. It was a handmade jar. It was mud. It was a mud jar. A lot of people call it jugs. We call it jars. I'm from Bangor, Maine. As you can tell by my accent.
This is Killer Beaz.
Killer Beaz, world famous comedian, part-time swimsuit model, and tickled to be with Rick on the podcast. And we're in Holston River Brewery.
I said it right. You did it right.
I did it right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've slurred it for about 20 minutes trying to get ready.
Yeah, you were drinking before you got here. That's the problem.
Well, you know, we don't call it drinking where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
We do not. We call it staying hydrated. With certain bacteria and pathogen-killing substances, alcohol being one of them.
All right, man.
We're not drinking, we're just having fun of it here. But here's where they make that stuff.
Yeah, look at that.
It's the brewery. That is two of the brew cans. What do you call those things?
Hoppers.
Hoppers. That's the freaking hopper. We're in front of these hoppers because they put hops in it. And then the barley goes in barrels. Get it? I tried to make a thing out of it.
This is slowly.
I tried to make barley in the word barrel.
Oh, barley.
I was trying to wordsmith, but my accent doesn't really let me do that. So I'm from Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
I looked at your sheet, or what you're going to ask me. I don't live in Mobile. We live out in the county because we didn't want to build the code. Because look, dude, they make you buy wire with 3 strands in it.
Normally.
Yeah. I just told my wife, don't touch metal when you cut the lights on. That's why your hair's frizzy, honey. You're doing it wrong.
Oh my God.
So
this is going to be trouble already. Now, people have probably heard you for a lot of years on John Boy Billy. Is that correct?
That is correct. John Boy and Billy, based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, syndicated all over the whole wide world. Probably the moon and a couple of the planets as well. Have been allies of mine for well over a quarter century, man. They have really, they've embraced a lot of the stand-up comics from the Southeast and the Midwest. It's a fun art form to be in on, and John Boy and Billy are funny in their own right and have been nice enough to help a bunch of us out over the years, and have been associated with, like I said, over a quarter century now. I've been doing stand-up a long time, y'all. I will start my 35th year
oh my God.
of doing stand-up in a couple of months. Thank you, buddy.
Good job.
And I got to tell y'all what, dude, you want to talk about a blessing to get to make people laugh and smile for a living.
Every day.
Every time I go to work, and to sustain that for 35 years is just an absolute cool thing to me. Still scary as all get out. Every show,
I bet.
Man, every show I do, I get a knot in my stomach and my palms sweat. I know I'm going to be good. I'm great. Don't get me wrong. I've been funny since I was a little baby.
I have to agree with you. You're a very good comedian. You're a great comedian.
Well, thank you, my friend. But it is so scary and hard to do.
It is.
And every show, man, there's a knot in my stomach, my palms sweat, partly because I care. And I want this show to be good. If you know, there's a fine line, just a little bit of edge between a great show and a good show.
That's right.
And I want the great one. And so it hurts my feelings because I think I'm not really putting my gift out there if it's not a great show.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of pressure on myself to be on when I do my sets.
Most creative people that I know, no matter if they're musicians or they're a painter or whatever. I'm not talking about the guy who comes by and paints your house. I'm talking about a guy that spends months on a piece of canvas. And if it's not ready to show the world, they won't do it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I knew a painter named Eddie Agnew that I grew up with in Jackson, Mississippi, that did oil paintings, and all his paintings were of a nautical subject matter. And I went to his house one day and he had the same painting there, and he was erasing 2 inches of a wave. 3,000 waves on this freaking thing. Evidently the tide was coming in. 3,000 waves, and there was one wave that the little curly top just didn't fit. He fretted over there and finally one there. I'm fixing this wave.
That's it.
Holy crap.
So, I know, man. I mean, I got friends that are musicians, and I'm like, hey, is your record almost done? Well, we got to go back and fine tune. And that might be on the Thursday the 3rd.
Yeah.
And then on the Friday the 31st, I'm calling them, hey, when can we talk about your record? I don't know, I'm not quite done yet. And you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, we can't get that hi-hat sounding just right. That kick drum.
But it's good, though. I like to be around people that are that tedious about what they're doing.
Well, here's where we're lucky as people here in America, is there are artist type people in the levels that really matter, like our surgeons and people like that, our doctors who are that picky about their performance. And buddy, that's what saves the day. Our military, our policemen,
that's right.
You know, these guys, they get that professional and they want their job to turn out, buddy. You know, they want a 10. They want to score all 10s.
Hey, if some guy's opening up my chest, he better know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because it can get ugly.
Yeah. Oh, but get this, man. I used to work back in old-timey days in Jackson, Mississippi.
Old-timey days.
In a 911 ambulance. I ran the police call starting when I was 17 years old. To my knowledge, I was one of the youngest people ever in the state of Mississippi to run the 911 calls. And I was the guy that worked on you in the back. Now you tell me how much fun that would be to get your foot lopped off my riding mower or something and me show up.
And then you're there.
Yeah.
That scares me just sitting here.
And get this, dude, y'all get this. The ambulance service was owned by a freaking funeral home.
Oh.
So when I wasn't
one way or another, they're getting your business.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I wasn't on an active call, I would do funeral home stuff. I was an apprentice embalmer. I've raised arteries, I've done incisions and raised arteries and injected embalming fluid and done sutures and all that. I was a little bit too funny for the funeral business. Rick,
there's some things going on.
I was a little bit too flippant or glib, if you will. Even though I'm a giver, it was a cool thing though. I did learn that I could multitask.
No doubt
when I worked in the ambulance, and I learned that I was good under pressure. So that was cool. But that was quite an adventure. Went on an ambulance call one time. Went on an ambulance call where 15 Black Angus cattle got killed. And so when we got to the scene, some private vehicles had already taken some injured folks to a hospital. So it was just us and these dead cows. So we radioed back to the funeral home. Yo, bring some chainsaws and ice chests.
Oh no.
Another thing, here's something people don't know about being in an ambulance or an emergency vehicle. You're always going the wrong direction when you're on the way to a call, because you've got the driver who's driving trying not to get you killed. Then you've got me sitting in another seat as the navigator reading that directions. Like if we're going to 115 Adams Alley. Yes.
Oh my God.
115 Adams Alley, I'd tell him, well, go left on Main Street, you know. And so we'd turn and be going, and I'm like, wait a minute, I meant right. And so then you have to turn around with the lights and siren going.
Oh, you're just loving the lights and the sirens is what you're doing.
But look, people, there's no way to act like you weren't wrong, because everybody's come outside to look because you attack their teeth. So I would get on the little microphone and the PA and go, there is a much worse emergency. We will send help. Yeah, because we didn't know what to say because we looked stupid having to in the middle of the street like that.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you what, man.
And y'all can hear my band warming up out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know the Bee's Knees.
The Bee's Knees?
The Bee's Knees. Oh, dude, I'm telling you what. Our lead singer's a girl, she's a honey. So.
So how many times does your wife hear these jokes a day?
My wife, not a lot now, because I've learned to quit telling them to her. She will roll her eyes. She can see the bottom of her hair. That's how hard she rolls her eyes when I try new material on her.
Oh my God.
We've been together for like 29 years, dude.
Yeah,
she's like, really? She's like, really?
Yeah,
really?
That was funny, like when I was 9.
Yeah. When I was 9, that one cracked me up, dude.
Really.
So,
well, man, I'm just really honored to have you with us tonight. And
well, I'm glad to be here too, and we're going to kind of tour the distillery, I think. And
we're going to shoot some pictures in the distillery.
Wonderful people about how we do things here at Holston River. Do you hear my voice crack? I mean,
no.
It's puberty. Puberty's hitting me. You get your second go around when you hit 80.
You're there.
I'm there, all right. That's nice. I like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. This part we'll kind of cut short, and we'll go do some stuff outside in the brewery. And,
we shall. Then we're gonna get in a police chase. Because we are not afraid.
Why don't we just get an ambulance?
We can do that too. Well, look, if we act right in the police chase, we'll end up in an ambulance. Trust me on that, my friend.
Oh my God.
Shout out to my homies in the subdivision back home. I live in a subdivision called Falling Values. It's really like the water pressure's so low, the refrigerator makes dry ice.
Oh.
So,
see what? This is going to be good. You need to come down here and check this out. The show's going to be great tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. I'm doing a show tomorrow night.
Yeah.
On top of that, I'm at work tomorrow.
Holston River Brewing Company, Bristol, Tennessee. You need to get down here. Right? All right.
We'll
Big Dollar with netradiodogs.com and Killer Beaz.
Thank you. That's a tip jar.
Is that mine? Oh. What do I get?